Avoiding missteps. Mastering obligations in negative and interrogative forms. Hello everyone. Welcome back to our series on intermediate English grammar. Today we are delving into the world of modal verbs, focusing specifically on obligation and necessity. We will tackle a crucial aspect of this topic, namely, obligations in negative and interrogative forms, and we will zoom in on the common mistakes learners often make and how to avoid them. In English, we use modal verbs to express necessity or obligation. These modal verbs include must, have to, should, and ought to. In negative and interrogative forms, however, it's easy to trip up and make mistakes. Let's understand these better. Strong obligation in negative form can be expressed using mustn't for rules and regulations, while don't have to indicates lack of necessity, not prohibition. In interrogative form, we generally use have to, as must is rarely used in questions. For weak obligations or advice, we use should and ought to. In negative form, it becomes shouldn't and ought not to. For questions, we simply switch the subject and should. Let's dive deeper into these and identify common errors. Mistake 1. Confusing mustn't and don't have to. One common mistake is confusing mustn't with don't have to. Remember, mustn't is used to express prohibition or something that is not allowed, while don't have to is used to say something is not necessary but allowed if you wish. For example, you mustn't talk during the exam means it's prohibited, while you don't have to wear a tie means it's not necessary, but you can if you want to. Mistake 2. Incorrect use of must in questions. Must is rarely used in questions. Instead, we usually use do I have to ask about obligations. So, instead of must I come to the meeting, it would be more natural to ask, do I have to come to the meeting? Mistake 3. Neglecting to reverse should in questions. In questions, should comes before the subject. An incorrect sentence might be, I should finish this project today? Instead, ask, should I finish this project today? Those were some of the common mistakes we often make when using modal verbs to express obligations in negative and interrogative forms. Remember, practice makes perfect. Keep practicing, and soon these complex modal forms will become second nature. In our next video, we will look at more advanced usage of modal verbs. Stay tuned and don't forget to review and practice what you've learned today. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.